Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, SKN.
Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Amy Armstrong. Before we take a look at the latest, we're going to take a brief look at the weather. And of course, it's a beautiful day. However, it's partly cloudy today, 77 degrees with an 8% chance of showers. So, as Jamie always says, be prepared for that 8%. Walk with your umbrella or your raincoat, just in case.
Just in case, indeed. All right, we're moving on to the latest in local news. And the first news story comes from WinFM. The internationally recognized Day of Love has been chosen for the release of A Week in Paradise, an MSR film that was shot in Nevis. The premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, had this to say, quote, "As you know, we have gone in a very aggressive way to try and develop a movie industry here on the island of Nevis, and we have been blessed that some 4 movies were filmed here last year. It seems like a long time, but in fact, MSR Media would have come to the island of Nevis. It was in January of 2021. I would have first spoken to them in December of 2020, and so in the past year, they've done 4 movies, and the first of those movies will be released worldwide on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. All right, the movie A Week in Paradise will be aired on all major streaming platforms. The premier expressed his pride, knowing that Nevisians, whether at home or in the diaspora, will be afforded the opportunity to see their homeland in living color and see how it is displayed." So, a great way to start talking about, the movie industry blooming in Nevis, and what a better day to launch than Valentine's Day.
I mean, other days could be good days. But, okay, if you feel special about Valentine's Day,
This is from the person wearing red, which you can't see yet. All right, fair enough.
So we're going to move on to our second story on the local scene. Honorable Hamilton said Social Security has achieved its growth of $350 million in the last 5 years. And this news is coming from MMS SKN. This in Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board, which is one of the leading pillars in the national success and has assets exceeding $1.7 billion that make it the most sound in the Eastern Caribbean, has achieved growth of $350 million in the last 5 years. Federal Minister responsible for Social Security, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, made the observation on Sunday, January 30th at the Bethesda Moravian Church in Keon, where board members, management, and staff had congregated for corporate worship in celebration of the organization's 44th anniversary. And this is a quote from the minister: "You can look back at 1978 when Social Security was formed, because the year saw the economic transformation that provided social protection mechanism for ordinary poor people." As he pinpointed the events that created and sustained the country's economic transformation, growth, development, and sustainability over the years. He also went on to say, "Let us thank those who in 1978 had the resolve to introduce Social Security." So that's great news for me because I'm looking forward to receiving Social Security when I get to that age. Fingers
so
crossed.
looking forward to getting Social Security at the end of the week. Just making sure, All right, fair enough. So we are moving on to the last story on the local scene, a bit of a somber story here. SKN, St. Kitts Nevis, records 4 COVID-19 related deaths in 24 hours, and this news from WinFM. While the mortality rate of the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus has been reported as less severe when compared to other variants, especially the Delta variant, health officials here and abroad have said we should not lower our guard. Within the last 24 hours, 4 deaths were recorded for St. Kitts and Nevis, according to Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, Medical Chief of Staff at the Joseph Nathaniel France General Hospital. All 4 happened on St. Kitts. Dr. Wilkinson also shared that all 4 were unvaccinated elderly individuals. The Federation is at the back end of its 4th wave of transmission, which saw the highest infection rate since the pandemic reached our shores, with the highest number of active cases being 1,360 on January 14th. During the last week in January, when the Federation saw a steady decline of daily inactive cases, 5 deaths were recorded from January 23rd to January 29th. So a bit of a somber story here, and it, of course, behooves all of us to do what we can to ensure that we protect ourselves and those around us. This is where we end the latest in local news. We will be back with more Good Morning SKN, where we continue the latest in regional and international news after the break. break. See you then.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN, and we're going to take a look at the regional news. ECLAC says extreme poverty in the region has risen significantly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And this news is coming from CMC. A new report by the United Nations Economic Commissions for Latin America and the Caribbean says that extreme poverty in the region has risen significantly to the coronavirus pandemic. The health crisis is still ongoing, and Latin America and the Caribbean is the world's most vulnerable region in this pandemic, said ECLAC, adding that as a result of the prolonged health and social crisis stemming from COVID-19, the extreme poverty rate in the region has risen from 13.1% of the population in 2020 to 13.8% of the population in 2021. ECLAC said this represents a 27-year setback, while the overall poverty rate is estimated to have fallen slightly from 33% to 31% of the population. This means that the number of people living in extreme poverty went from 81 million to 86 million, while the total number of people in situations of poverty declined from 204 million to 101 million, ECLIC said. So, I think it's expected. I know a lot of the pandemic, or a lot of the effects of the pandemic. I know it's health related, but I know we felt it economically, even here on St. Kitts, with people being out of work for almost 2 years in some instances.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that as we are coming back to a state of normalcy, that we would see increased economic activity in the Caribbean and Latin America.
And healthier people as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes,
Healthier
of
people as
course.
well. All right, so we're moving on to the international scene, and this news comes from the Associated Press. All right, so the UK to lift travel test requirements for the vaccinated. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Monday his government will remove coronavirus testing requirements for vaccinated people arriving in England. News hailed by the travel industry as a big step back to normality. Johnson said that to show that this country is open for business, open for travelers, you will see changes so that people arriving no longer have to take tests if they have been vaccinated, if they have been double vaccinated. Transport Secretary Grant Shapps is due to give details of the rule change later. Tim Alderslade, chief executive of airline industry body Airlines UK, said it was, quote, a landmark day. Nearly 2 years since the initial COVID restrictions were introduced, today's announcement brings international travel towards near normality for the fully vaccinated and at last into line with hospitality and the domestic economy, he said. Currently, travelers who have had at least 2 vaccine doses must take a rapid coronavirus test within 2 days of arriving in the UK. So, travel restrictions being lifted.
That sounds good to me.
For vaccinated people. We're getting back to normalcy. So, I don't know, maybe in the next, month or two, I'll see pictures of you on a plane heading to the UK or somewhere else. Sounds great. You're not giving me a hint at all, are you? You're not giving me a hint. All right, so that's it for the latest. We will be back in a moment to continue this wonderful Good Morning on Good Morning SKN. See you soon.
Next, please.
Good morning, Mommy. How are we today?
We are okay. I brought in Bobby to get her first HPV vaccine to secure her from this cancer-causing menace. I'm just trying to make sure my girls have a chance at enjoying life, you know?
You look unsure about something. Are you okay?
I'm a little nervous. My boyfriend found a lump here the other day, and now I'm freaking out.
I understand how you feel, but let's take care of Bobby first. First, let me explain about this vaccine, the HPV vaccine. The HPV vaccine protects both boys and girls. This vaccine can prevent most cases of cervical cancer and some cases of sexually transmitted infections. Mommy, that's it for Bobby. Can we talk privately for a few minutes? It's really good that you told me about your boyfriend finding the lump. I'm glad that you weren't too scared. Mommy, when was the last checkup? I mean, which includes your breast examination and the pap smear.
Honestly, I don't know anything about pap smears. Is that something you do during childbirth? Because if that's the case, I would have done it twice, right?
A pap smear is an examination of your vagina and the pelvis area. It should be done for females between the ages 18 to 69 at least once a year. The World Health Organization recommends that the doctor or nurse that is doing the examination remove the cells from the cervix and check for any abnormal cells, cancer, and the human papillomavirus, which causes cervical cancer. If females get regular tests, anything unusual or abnormal can be treated and seen in its early stages. The girls are being vaccinated before age 30 to reduce the risk of getting cervical cancer. Women tested early and girls vaccinated can help us end cervical cancer. Don't be afraid. It's a simple examination which will be over very soon. Come on, let's get tested.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission. If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately.
rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. The famous Black icon, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, quote, "Life's most urgent and persistent question is, what are you doing for others?" End quote.
Volunteerism is the principle of donating time and energy solely for the benefit of others. There are several volunteer programs in the Federation. One of such group is Chip-In.
So Chip-In, or hopefully I'm saying it right, you'll tell me later, is a platform that seeks to connect volunteers with volunteer opportunities. Their goal is for every citizen in our federation to engage in a volunteer activity at least once per year. Chip-In works with groups and organizations by matching their needs to local volunteers. So join us in welcoming the founder of Chip-In Volunteer Center, Fainora Ibo. Fainora, welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Thank you.
Good morning.
So first things first, was I saying the name correctly?
Yes, it's called Chip-In.
Nice.
Yes.
Got it. All right, so it has an interesting name, and I'm pretty sure that we can kind of gauge why you chose that name, but why don't you tell us in your own words?
So Chip-In came from the colloquial term when we say chip in and do your part, chip in and help. So chip-in, so we just added it as E-E-E-N instead of chip-I-N. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so you're the founder of the group. Can you tell us more about volunteerism and why it meant so much to you?
Okay, so I did a training with Sustainable Destination Council, I think in 2018 or 19.
The good old days, huh?
And from the training, I was left with the question, what can I, as a citizen, as a resident of St. Kitts, do to help my country with my skills? How can I make St. Kitts a better place? So I brainstormed, and I realized that there was a gap between volunteers and volunteer opportunities. So I decided to start a volunteer center. I brainstormed with my colleagues at Department of Environment at that time, and we came up with the name Chip-In Volunteer Center.
That's great.
All right, so again, in your own words, although I'm sure we can kind of gauge it, the mission, official mission of the Volunteer Center.
So Chip-In's mission is to connect and coordinate volunteers with volunteer opportunities in St. Kitts. So we go out and we look for volunteer activities with different organizations, and we bring the volunteers to those organizations.
So how exactly are these opportunities submitted to the program? I think we're talking a bit offset, and you were telling us you don't actually have a physical location. We're virtual, and we appreciate that. So how do you actually connect those two different sets of people together?
Okay, so any organizations who needs a volunteer, they contact us, and we put it in our database. When persons sign up, then it matches them with their expertise, and we contact them, they show up, volunteer, and that's it.
That sounds really very simple. So again, how would they contact you? Online, there's a site, there's a social media site. How would they find you?
So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we started a YouTube channel. And persons can actually call me on my cell, 869-667-7575, and let me know that they need volunteers, or call anyone on our team and let them know, and we will match the volunteers with the organization.
All right, well, you've given us a mouthful. We're actually going to take a brief commercial break, and we'll be right back with more Good Morning SKN.
everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. If you were wondering who this lovely lady is next, she is the founder of Chipping Volunteer Center, and she's talking to us all about volunteerism in St. Kitts and Nevis. So as we were saying during the break, Mimi and I, we were saying that we really want to get into, what volunteerism is for you. And so in terms of the opportunities that you have been able to provide for people who want to volunteer, what's that like? Because you said before that you go out and you look for those opportunities. So walk us through that a little bit.
Okay, so we have partners, and we partner with different organizations. So currently, we partner with Good Deeds Day. It's an organization in Israel.
Oh, wow.
And they have volunteers throughout the world. So every year in April, they have what you call Good Deeds Day, where they encourage persons to do good deeds during that day. Well, they have grown really big. They have like over 1 million volunteers now. So they encourage persons to do good throughout the entire year. So what they do, they partner with different organizations, and they would finance different activities. So thus far, this upcoming April, we are partnering with them, and we are going to do some projects in St. Kitts with the various organizations, training for youths. We are going to be doing activities like tree planting, because we're very environmental conscious at Chipping. And also we have other activities where we'll be partnering with several organizations. Apart from that also, we have partnered with Ruth Libert Foundation, and we have placed some mobile libraries in Keyon and Keys, where persons can just walk up to the mailbox-looking library and take out books and read at their leisure and return them in about 3 weeks so that other persons can benefit. However, in the library, there are books that does not have the RFL stamp, and persons are free to keep those books if they desire. Also, we've partnered with the Youth Department and the Social Services Department, and we have connected volunteers with elderly, where they have gone and helped elderly with their homes, to help them clean them, etc. So we find opportunities by partnering with several local organizations and international organizations.
That's really interesting. I'm very intrigued by the mobile library. Like, what sparked that idea, and what has the response been to that?
Okay, so that idea came out of Ruth Libert Foundation. So they're the one who funded it, and they're the one who came up with the idea. Chipin's role there was to coordinate the entire process and make it happen. So we had the launch last year, November, of that library, and the persons have been going to the libraries, and we plan to put little surprises in the libraries. So if you're planning to go to the libraries, look for little surprises. We may have puzzles inside there and other gifts inside there for persons who go to the libraries.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely remarkable. I want to talk to you a little bit about the ages as well of the people who are volunteering. What can you tell us about that? I know you mentioned something about youth before, so ages, please.
Okay, so our vision is for everybody to be involved in volunteer activities. So we are hoping that persons as small as infants and as old as 99, 100 and something can be involved in some aspect of volunteering. Whether it's just helping your neighbor, whether it's just planting a tree, whether it's just giving somebody a hug, something. So we just want persons to be involved in making their communities a better place.
That's really, really nice. And we mentioned a little earlier that, it's online, it's virtual for now. I mean, given the circumstance. But do you plan on building a physical location anytime soon?
Well, hopefully as we grow, we plan to have a physical location where persons can get free food, free stuff, where persons can come and just volunteer for different activities. We also started a Facebook page where persons can donate anything they don't want that's in great condition. So we believe in zero waste. Well, we're hoping that one day we will get closer to zero waste. I know zero waste is almost impossible, but we can get as close as possible to zero. Yes, to zero waste as a country. So if you have 2 shirts, 2 pants, if you have 2 shoes and they're in good condition, you have 2 watches, instead of just having it in your home and sitting for years and eventually have to just throw it out, you can just go on the Facebook page and take a picture of it and put it up and say, hey, I'm giving this away to somebody who would appreciate it more than I appreciate it at this particular time.
All right, Ms. Ivel, I want to pick your brain a little bit because as someone who's been involved in volunteering for, as long as you have, and also to the extent that you have been, is there a favorite project of yours? And is there an ideal project of yours that you'd like to see?
Okay, so I was involved in an environmental project. So anything environmental touches my heart. And I would like to see projects where we stop littering. Yes. Because we have all of these beach cleanup and community cleanup, and those can be alleviated by persons stop littering, because we're actually going out there and picking up your litter. So if we could have a project where we clean up St. Kitts together, everybody, and we just stop littering. So then St. Kitts would be one of the cleanest Caribbean country, or one of the cleanest country in the world. That's dear to my heart. I would love to see projects where we actually go deep and deal with the issue of littering and alleviate many of the environmental problems that we face because of our own acts.
Well, I mean, we spoke recently in the news about moving closer to banning single-use plastics.
Okay.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed that soon we'll work on littering and we'll work on being better human beings. So we're almost out of time. So can you remind us of how we can contact you if we wanted to volunteer? I think it's something that we should add to our bucket list, Jamie.
If we wanted to chip in.
Yes. If we wanted to chip in, how can we contact you?
Good. So if you want to chip in, you can chip in by calling my number 869-667-7575, or you can go to our website, which is chipeen.org, CHIPEEN.org, and you can sign up as a volunteer, or you can visit our Facebook page and find more information about Chipeen.
We've been speaking with Finora Ible of Chipeen Volunteer Center. Thank you for taking the time to encourage all of us to chip in, and hopefully we can see the fruits of your labor in the not too distant future. We'll be back with more Good Morning SKN in a moment. Stay tuned, everyone.
This is Good Morning SKN with Mimi and Jamie on Studio 327.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
So, nurse, what now?
Let me explain. I'm going to put your feet in these 2-meter stands called stirrups. Your legs will be open, then I will insert my fingers into your vagina and make a check. After that, I'll insert this. When that is inside of you and open up, I can see your cervix better. Then I will use these other devices to help me remove the cells from your cervix and check for the cancer and the HPV. Just relax. It will be over very soon.
Nurse, that wasn't so bad. I thought it would have been very painful.
I am glad your first experience was a good one.
So, when will I get the results?
The results usually return in 3 weeks. You have to come back here to the health center and I will explain. If there's anything abnormal, I will make a referral to your gynecologist.
Okay. Can I get the HPV vaccine my daughter got?
No, I'm sorry, you cannot. The World Health Organization and Pan American Health Organization did a lot of research and found out after persons are sexually active, the vaccine does not work as well.
So what's the best way to prevent me from dying from this HPV?
Just what you did this morning. Early and yearly screening for the HPV virus and checking for changes in the cervix with the pap test.
How do they know they're not sick?
I know, it's really sad. In 2014, 1 in 4 women in St. Kitts and Nevis were tested positive for one high-risk type of HPV. And in the last 10 years, the number of women with cervical cancer has increased.
See what I mean? But it's good that you could get the pap test, the HPV vaccine, and the breast checks all at the same time.
Yes, share what you've learned with your family and friends. We in the Ministry of Health are encouraging women to come and have these tests done every year because cervical cancer can be effectively treated if detected and diagnosed early. So let's both do our part. It's time to end cervical cancer.
You're watching Good Morning SKN. A musical arrangement is a reconceptualization of a previously composed piece of work. Project Harmony is a musical group that unites accomplished musicians in their own right from all over the world. These musicians connect virtually to perform soul-stirring a cappella pieces. One of such pieces is Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come. This is one of those iconic pieces that was birthed during the 1960s. This piece features musicians from Mexico, the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Caribbean. So sit back and enjoy this interpretation of A Change Is Gonna Come by Project Harmony. I
was born by the river in a little tent, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, change gon' come. your brother. Help me, please. Help me, please. But my brother, say my brother, winds up kicking me. I say, back down on my knees. There's got to be a change. There's gotta be a change. There's got to be a change. We're talking change. We're talking change.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and, most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same, because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Yeah. I know we can make it. It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gonna be safe. Everybody gonna be one safe. Kind, yeah. One people. We are roll up to roll up, yeah. Cause no man's alone, do what's right, alright. Cause I love you, brother, my sister. And we're in this together, my sister, my brother. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Hey, I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to roll up to roll out.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and I think I could talk for everyone in the studio. We were all moved by that breathtaking performance by Project Harmony's musicians. So we're now going to take a moment to discuss the powerful impact of this song during the civil rights movement in the United States of America. I know we were talking about our favorite activists yesterday, and you two mentioned some activists from the civil rights movement, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks. So again, yes, this was, every time I think of the civil rights movement, I do remember this song.
Yeah, the song, I mean, to say that it's a song that moved us, I think, is the understatement of the day, because not only does it show that we could appreciate what happened in the States to some degree during the civil rights era, but the fact that when we were looking at that video, we saw some notable faces from St. Kitts and Nevis as well, suggests that there's so much that can be communicated through a song, you know? And I think that that was why this became the anthem of the civil rights movement as well. I just felt like breaking out in song myself. And you were joking.
Feel free.
You can. We'll back you up. We will definitely back you up.
I'll dance.
Viewers, I'm not sure you want to see that. I'm not sure you want to see that. That's not going to be a made-for-TV moment at all. But, you know, seriously, it's a very moving song, I would have to say.
And a very moving performance. And it's so ageless. Like every time someone sings it, I get goosebumps. I feel very emotional. For some, yes, goosebumps. I get all emotional. And it's always something that signifies hope. Like, yes, it's been a long time coming, but I know for certain, not that I guess, not I wish, but I know for certain that change is going to come.
Well, I want to hear what Cartencia has to say. What were your thoughts during that rendition?
Well, to piggyback on what Mimi said, for generations to come, the song is always going to be around. And the struggles that we went through as colored people, the song gave us hope that one day we're going to see the light. One day we're going to be free. And that happened.
Yes,
that happened.
yes.
So, yeah.
Well, we've got some lyrics to discuss as well, so let's delve deeper into it, right? So in terms of the lyrics, and I would just read, I'm not going to sing it.
You're not going to sing?
I promise.
Jamie, I'm leaving soon. You're not going to sing?
You're giving me ideas for your final day when we're going to have whatever surprise. I'm going to convince our executive producer to put you on the spot. So you wait around. All right. So yes. So the lyrics here. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. You know what I mean? What do you get from that, literally? Because when I think of a river that's running, it doesn't stop. And it seems as if, you know, there is no end to the running. It's almost as if there is that place that is elusive that we ought to get to, but we keep questioning whether we will ever get there.
Right. I've never seen it in that way, but that's an interesting interpretation.
My take on it is that the fight continues. Because we noticed with all the uprising in the States, with it seems like we want to have the segregation happening again. Just recently in Florida, again, the Nazis are fighting against the Jews, and it's just, so it's a continued battle. So just like the river that runs continually, this battle is ongoing, and they're going to keep running until it's sorted, hopefully sometime soon.
All right, so we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned, everyone.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
This is Good Morning SKN with Mimi and Jamie on Studio 327.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Before the short break, we were discussing a song.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming. We were discussing the points of slavery as well. And as we said, the song has a few lyrics in it, like, just like a river, I've been running ever since. So we were connoting that to the fact that as the river continues to run, we continue to fight to end the differences that try its best to divide us all.
And again, that was a really good interpretation. Like, the battle continues, the journey continues. Again, I've never seen the lyrics. I've never delved into that part of the lyrics, so, I mean, deeply, but I think your interpretations are very spot on. I mean, we have made a lot of strides as Black people, even when we look back at the civil rights movement and thinking about the things that we weren't able to do. And sometimes when we think about it, when we see the pictures in black and white, we think that it was a long time ago, but it really wasn't. Like, we were facing these issues in pretty recent history. So again, the journey continue. And again, we're still facing a lot of discrimination, a lot of hate against Black people or just minorities. And we do still have a long way to go, but, you know, we'll keep persisting, we'll keep pressing on.
Absolutely. I'm looking at you do that, Hortensia, and I'm just going, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're wearing that.
Well, all lives matter, but in this instance, we're talking about Black Lives Matter.
Absolutely. It being Black History Month. And also we're continuing, you know, to look at the lyrics. And the next set of lyrics, which I will read, are these. Is this rather? It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die because I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. Now, this just torments me, to be honest with you. Oh, it's a morning show, and I'm not supposed to say it torments me.
No.
Could you
imagine?
You know, we think of death as solace. Finally, you know, it's like when you die, you're at peace. That's what we say.
Who says that?
Well, I do. I don't know about you. Is there another way to think of death? I don't know.
There's lots of ways to think about that.
Okay. All right. Into the mind of Mimi. Tomorrow's segment, please. All right. Yeah. So I'm thinking, you know, if somebody says they don't know what's up there, they're afraid to die because they don't know what's beyond the sky. It's like when you think of your reality that you're experiencing, and it's so painful to you that you don't even want to envision going to some other place because you might be afraid that it might be even worse. So that's what I'm thinking when I say kind of torments me. What about you? Didn't mean to be so profound on you guys. You can smile now. You can bring it back. Come on. No pressure.
I mean, of course we know it's been hard living, especially, it's still hard for Black people living. Fortunately, you know, for us in the Caribbean, we don't tend to always face that type of racism, that type of,
backlash.
You know, backlash, exactly. But I know, as we've seen, even in 2020, when there was so much social uprisings, even in the midst of a pandemic. So again, Black people were facing a lot of economic turmoil. We mentioned this morning about the poverty rate increasing, and I know that didn't just happen in the Caribbean. I know that happened worldwide. And of course, people of minority populations are always mainly and firstly affected by any economic downturn. So we know, as you said before, it's been a struggle and it continues to be a struggle. And we know it's hard. Like, can you imagine not being able to feed your family in Rosa Parks Day, not being able to sit to the front of a bus, not being able to vote? Like, voting rights for Blacks is really failing you if we're to think about it. So it was difficult for them living. But as Jamie said, like, it's difficult, but I'm still afraid to die. Not just because I don't know what the future holds, but also because I know that I have a work here to do, you know? Yeah. I know that I have my children to look forward to and to raise and to make sure that they don't have to live this sort of life or go through the same struggles that I'm living right now. So that's my interpretation.
And the uncertainty of most Black people, especially in the North. That person could go out today and they're not sure if they're going to come back home.
Right.
Because they could be shot.
That's the scary part.
Something could happen to them.
That's the scary part, because that happens even today. So
that's really grim.
So you're really not prepared. Because you could say, prepare to die. You know, you lie down, you die, but
when it happens, it happens. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So this song is going to be with us for generations to come. I can see that, and you know, it's a mark on our history as people of color. It's a mark on the things that we hope for. So it's a very good way to end this segment on Good Morning SKN with hope. We will be back with more Good Morning SKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cooked today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what real happening. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
February, as we know, is Black History Month, but it is also the month of love. Love is a complex and oftentimes inexplicable and complicated and daunting experience. It is a sorry, that was a little rough. It is a versatile emotion as it comes in many forms. This can be proven by the fact that Sanskrit, the ancient language of India, had up to 96 words to describe the experience that the English language chiefly sums up in one word: love. Platonic love is a symbol of friendship and is an essential experience for us as human beings. Many, however, are faced with the challenge of maintaining a solid friendship. So today, as we loosen up, we're going to be discussing our ideas on building long-lasting friendships.
So I'll start.
Yeah.
First off, we have to be mindful how we use the word friend.
Correct.
Yeah. We have to call people as they are.
Mm-hmm.
And to start with to keep a long-lasting friendship, I should say, we need to communicate. And we need to be a bunch of friends. We may not have the same ideas all the time, but we just have to have the same ideology of how we want the friendship to go. So if I see Mimi progress, I shouldn't be a hater to Mimi if I'm Mimi's friend.
Mm-hmm.
I should be pushing Mimi, because in turn, me pushing Mimi, the world is a cycle. It comes back around.
Right.
So for me, friendship should be genuine love, communication, and uplifting your friends. Because if you're going to be my friend and be a hater, stay over there.
Correct.
That's just my thing.
Correct.
I like that. I'm going to say ladies first. I'm going to pivot to you.
Well, I like the point that you made at first, where we need to first differentiate or define what friendship means to us. Friendship for different people means different things, just like how love for people means different things. And it's also good to use different terms for what people are. Like, because we get along or we talk doesn't necessarily mean that we're friends. We could be colleagues associates, work buddies, you know what I mean? There's different, and I think we just throw different word loosely. So everybody's our friend. Oh, I know her, she's my friend. Oh, I see her from today, she's my friend. And I think that's where things can get a little confusing, because I call you a friend, so I expect certain things, but the truth is that we're not really friends. We don't have that kind of connection. So again, I think the point you made first about defining friends and putting people into the right brackets, that's important.
And here's a fundamental difference, I would say, between men and women. You guys went so serious on me right now. You know, you're like, oh, yeah, you got to put the label. You got to do that. Here's my take on friendship. You got to laugh. Your friend should make you laugh. You should have good times with each other.
That too, but
you should be happy.
There's a nitty-gritty of everything.
No, I'm not saying that there isn't. And I take what you say with more than one grain of salt, obviously. But I think that if you are a spoonful of, I don't think that's too healthy in any event. If you are around people who can make you laugh, who can change your mood for the better, who remind you, it doesn't matter, you can think of them and instantly you just feel better because of the energy that they bring to you, then I would say that that's definitely a friend. Who wants to be around a Debbie Downer or anybody who's going to pull you down? Reality checks are important. That's true.
Yes.
So you do need people to check you once or twice, obviously. But at the same time, you want to make sure that what goes into it is, again, you feel better about it, but not just for yourself either. What you said, Cortensia, is perfect. It's like we have to be part of this unit that says, if you succeed, I succeed vicariously through you. And that makes me feel better as well. That's a friend. A friend wants the best for you. A friend wouldn't be jealous of you. A friend wouldn't look at you funny because you're wearing those nice shoes right now that I mentioned before, that I told you about before. I was like, ooh, nice shoes. You know, they'd say, you know, you're looking good. It's nice. Yeah. Your compliments.
But I mean, you mentioned the point, and again, not to be serious, but I think friendship is a serious thing, because the people who you associate yourself with, the people who you spend your time with, have a significant influence on the trajectory of your life. If you're around negative people, if you're around lazy people, we tend to feel like, oh, we're different. Like, no. If you're around lazy people, you somehow just pick up their habits. Exactly. If you're around people who curse a lot, if you're around people who eat lots of junk food, you just tend to, somehow you could be doing the right thing and going on your own path, but because of the people you're around and the things you're hearing and the things you're seeing every day, it can influence your life. So I think having friends who can also be serious with you, because I think about high school and I think about what I call friends in high school. And of course, it was always like, oh, this person makes me laugh, or I'm always happy around them, or they always like reinforce the things I'm doing. So it's like, okay, I'm going out tonight with this boy. And they're like, yeah, go. Yeah. Right? But you need friends.
Keep listening.
That wasn't my real story.
Oh, sorry.
You need friends. I think it's important. And one of the attributes I look for in a friend is somebody who's going to tell me, Mimi, what you're doing right now is not the right thing. Exactly.
Accountability.
Yes, I think that's very important, because there are people who we like to call friends and they're just, oh, okay, we're going to go to the club, we're going to go party, we're going to go to the strip. But they're not the people who are going to tell you, well, Mimi, you really should be studying because, you know, you have UE. You're attending UE, you spend all your money on UE, you need to be studying. Mimi, that person that you're going around, not really great. Exactly. Mimi, this new thing that you're doing is not really good. I really love when my friends are able to say, girl, come here.
Exactly. Sort yourself out.
I think I needed to be on the other end of this conversation, because I'm sandwiched right now and it's like...
No, smiling and laughing is important. It needs to be balanced.
Thank you. Balance is the word.
You have different levels of friendship as well. So to have the same expectations from everybody who's in your circle as a friend is not necessarily valid. It's not necessarily fair either. And I get what you say when you talk about friends, and I get that. But guess what? Hey, it is what it is. We're all people. You guys at home. Hey.
The fellas would never understand.
You sure about that? You guys at home. Studio 327.
Fellas understand. I have some good guy friends. Okay.
Let us know what your definition is of a friend on Studio 3278. We will see if we come down the middle, whether you are male or female. We're going to find out, okay? So let us know if you agree, if it's all serious, or if you can have fun and games, or if it's somewhere in the middle. And that being said, we're going to go to a break. I'm going to get out of the middle of this conversation, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. More Good Morning SKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
You see that new boy that just joined the school last week? He brought me a chocolate this morning because I showed him the way home from school yesterday. You like him? No, he's just my friend. Plus he is my neighbor. He asked me if we can walk home together for lunch tomorrow, and I told him yes.
I don't like these big boys. They tend to like to touch girls without your consent.
What do you mean by consent?
It's when one person agrees to give permission to another person to do something.
He is cute though. Guys, you won't believe what happened the other day with the new boy from school.
What happened?
The other day, while walking home with the new guy, he followed me into my house. I thought it was okay because he seemed friendly and respectful. So I turned on the TV and offered him a soda. We sat in the chair together. Then he leaned over and kissed me. I was so shocked, I sat up straight and asked him why he did that. He said he thought I liked him. I told him not in that way.
What? Girl, you should have never allowed him inside your parents' home.
My parents will be very angry if they meet any boys in our home plus kissing me.
Guys, we don't need to be burdened down with teen pregnancy and relationship problems at this time. Boys need to understand that girls are not sex objects.
Remember, you have the right to consent to every activity being performed, from holding hands to anything more, and to change your mind at any time. If your partner does not respect your wishes, this also is a form of abuse. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. My co-host Hortensia will get the pleasure of introducing our next guest.
Meryl Streep notes that acting is not about being someone different. It's finding the similarity in what is apparently different, then finding myself in there. Our next guest, Zaisha Joseph, knows all about this. Zaisha Joseph is a St. Kitts and Nevis national who is currently attending the New York Film Academy, and is pursuing a degree in fine arts. She is well known in the capacity of an actress. Zaisha also holds other roles off camera, such as executive producer, assistant director, and screenwriter. Today, we are pleased to have her on Good Morning SKN to share more about her creative pursuit. Good morning, Zaisha, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Having me.
Hi, it's such an honor to talk about you. So as I was listening to all of the fine things about you, I imagine that you must have some interesting stories to share. Executive producer, behind the scenes.
Yes.
So you know what we go through that our viewers don't know that we go through.
Exactly. It's not easy. It's not as easy as it looks. You have to go through so much for film production to get something done, to get the final product for the audience enjoyment is not easy at all.
Yeah, but we'll dial things back a little bit and focus on your acting.
Okay.
So when did you identify your passion for acting?
I think I identified my passion a very long time ago, perhaps maybe in primary school. And as I always tell people that I used to, go in front of a school assembly and perform monologues. I used to write my own monologues. I entered a few pageants, maybe about 5 pageants. And for the talent segment, I did a dramatic presentation. And it's something that I've always loved. And I used to watch television on the DVD player because, I grew up poor, so I didn't have cable, So I would watch DVDs and I would always imagine myself on the television screen. So for as long as I can remember, as early as I can remember, I've always had a passion for acting.
Well, that's incredible.
Thank you.
I like the comment about growing up poor, not having cable, but having a DVD player. I don't think you were that poor.
Well, we used to go and buy DVDs from the guy who used to sell DVDs in town. So
I got you.
watch the same DVD over and over, So.
Zaisha, can you recall your first role acting?
My first acting role? I think it's hard. I think my first acting role would be perhaps a monologue that I performed in school, because when I was in school, I didn't have plays and all those things that I could be a part of. So I would say it would be a monologue that I performed in school for a pageant or something like that. But it's funny, I never thought of that.
Well, I'm glad that we're making you think. All right, so apparently we were having this discussion that we're told that generally when there's an actor, they generally identify one character, I think, that they think best represents their personality. Is that the case for you? And if so, who is that actor that you think embodies Zaisha?
Oh, you mean like a role model or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, definitely Viola Davis. She's my role model. I've always looked up to her. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be like her. But I'm learning more that I don't want to be like her. She's a great actress. She's phenomenal. But at the end of the day, there can only be one Viola Davis and there can only be one Zaisha Joseph. So while I look up to her, I also want to bring my own uniqueness to the table.
Okay. Tell us what about the film industry that appeals to you the most? To you the most.
Well, I think the whole idea of being behind the scenes and the nitty-gritties and the things that you have to go through to make a final product. Sometimes it takes like 2 hours to film one scene, but you're only seeing 10 seconds of that scene that took 2 hours to film on the television screen. I think that is so interesting that I think people should want to learn more about, because while you sit behind your screen and you're seeing this, this spectacle, it actually took like 3 hours for this 10 seconds thing to film. And I think that is what appeals to me most. And that is why I'm not just acting, I'm also, working behind the scenes as well.
So did it change the way that you look at movies? I imagine that it does. Because if you have that behind the scenes knowledge, you're not just looking at, oh, well, the actors are good, everything is colorful. You're looking at, well, what goes into that scene? Am I right?
Yeah, of course. And it makes me more critical when I'm watching films too. Like I'm always looking for some kind of mistake or some kind of continuity error, like I have this fine eye, like I'm looking at every single detail, So I'm not just looking at the acting, I'm looking at, because sometimes you have a film where maybe the acting is not good, but the cinematography is good. And it's not that the actors weren't good, it's just that the editor chose the scene that he think was best, perhaps for the best cinematography, the best picture. Maybe the actors were in focus there, but the scene where the actors were out of focus, that's when they delivered their best performance. So it's just so much that goes into it, you know?
Broken Priority is another one of your popular films. Give us some insight on the concept of that film.
Broken Priority?
Yes, ma'am.
So Broken Priority is one of the short films that I wrote. I was also the assistant director, and I also acted in it. I didn't have like a major role in it because even though I wrote it and I was the executive producer, I think sometimes it's important to step back and, as I said, work behind the scenes. So as an actor, I had like a minor role in it, but this film showed in AMC Theatre in Atlanta for a film festival. I traveled to Atlanta to see it there. And it also won other awards, I think, in Sweden. I think it won Best Short Film for a film festival in London, I think. Well, definitely did. Just to remember the name of the film festival. But it's a short film about a son who wants to be a rapper. But his parents are old-fashioned and they don't want him to be a rapper. They want him to study engineering. They want him to study to be a doctor, and he wants to be a rapper and play basketball. And it ensues from there, and it's a whole lot of dramatic stuff that happened. And it's actually on YouTube, that you could view it on YouTube and see pictures. Yeah.
I'm a little curious because the fact that you're speaking to Broken Priority, I'm wondering if it mirrors your life just a little bit, because the career path that you've chosen is a little non-traditional, is it not?
It perhaps maybe a little bit in terms of how society viewed my decision to become an actress. Whenever I told people I want to become an actress, they would say, "Oh, why don't you go and study to be a lawyer or to be an accountant?" And mind you, there's nothing wrong with being a lawyer and an accountant because we need lawyers and we need accountants in our society. But some people want to study art. Art is a beautiful thing, and so many young people are afraid to step out of that comfort zone, of that security of having a 9-to-5 job and doing something else. You know, it's almost threatening because whenever you talk about it, people tend to shut you down, you know. And I just hope that more young people would be courageous and step out and do that. So in that aspect, it does mirror my life a little bit. But in terms of family and stuff like that, I think my mother was always supportive. Whatever I wanted, she said, "Oh, no problem, go ahead, do your thing. My daughter, I'm so proud of you," you know, like she wasn't that kind of parent that would say, "No, no." So in that aspect, definitely.
That's good to know. All right, let's talk about Deceit very quickly, because in addition to Broken Priority, we had Deceit as one of your very short films. What can you tell us about it?
Yes, I think Deceit did like the best because I think Deceit won 3 awards. It won the Critics' Choice Award in Singapore World Film Carnival. It won Best Short Film for Film Festival in Virginia. I also won Best Actress.
Wow, congratulations.
Best Directing. Yes, so that film won the most awards. I think we won about 10 or 12 awards, as well as official selections. Deceit, again, is also on YouTube. It's about a pastor whose wife, they're married, they have 2 kids, and his wife, the kids don't belong to him. It's like a kind of typical story, you know, we've been hearing about that. But I thought it was important for the world to see stuff like that, to know that things like that are happening, you know. So the children don't belong to him. He has a child. The children belong to another church member. And he finds out, and then, you know, I can't tell you the end of the story. I want you to watch it. It's on YouTube. So
I see you're learning a lot from that school of yours.
Yes, definitely.
Your first full-length feature film, 1 Cent Can't Change, is coming soon.
Yes.
Without revealing too much, share with us a brief synopsis of it.
So 1 Cent Can't Change. Wow. Okay. 1 Cent Can't Change. It's about, it includes the African American, and Caribbean and cultures. And it's basically putting all of those together and saying that at the end of the day, we are all the same people, you know, we're all Black people. And it's about a son whose mother wanted to find a wife. my mother is African American. I'm from the Caribbean. It's so much like I don't want to give you too much because it's not out yet. So I don't want to reveal what the story is about. I'm waiting for you to see it for yourself because it has so many plot twists. It goes up, it goes down, it has an arc. It's like it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. And I want you to see it without me telling you what it is, So,
okay.
But
so
it's a feature film that I also wrote.
Okay. So in closing, Zaisha, though the film hasn't been released yet, it is a finalist in the International Screenwriting Competition in New York.
Yes.
How did you react when you found out it was nominated for this award?
Well, of course, I was very happy. I was proud of myself because it just means that there are people outside of the Caribbean, people specifically in America, who are interested in learning about the African American and the Caribbean experience. I was quite proud, and especially because it's my first full length feature film that I wrote. I was like, wow, I did well, and I was proud of myself. I gave myself a tap on the back, So.
Yeah.
Well, Zaisha, yes. We're both eager to talk to you. I guess.
No problem.
I'm sure you have. Well, tell us about that for a second. Have you had fans walk up to you and ask you, did they recognize you? Those sorts of things. Do you have those celebrity crush moments?
No, I don't think I'm that famous yet.
Yeah, almost there.
I mean, at least not yet. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen when I come to St. Kitts, but it's never happened to me, and I mean, for me, it's not a big deal. I feel like we're all the same, regardless of what you may accomplish,
I love that.
But I would respect and appreciate that. But at the end of the day, we're all the same people,
Well, you know what? If I see you walking on the streets of St. Kitts, you can expect that moment, okay? So just know that. All right, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm no longer going to fight with Hortensius to, who gets to have that final moment with this awesome celebrity. So proud of your accomplishments. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Well, we hope to talk to you sometime again.
Yes. Thank you.
Best of luck to you. More Good Morning SKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
So you mentioned something about a lump.
Babe, I just felt something on the left side of your breast. Tell me if you feel it.
Do you do your self-breast examinations monthly?
No, I don't.
Well, women are supposed to examine their breasts once monthly. Let me show you how. When at home, you can check while standing in the shower or while lying down. Simply place a pillow under your right shoulder and your right arm behind your head. Using your left hand, move the pads of your fingers around your right breast, gently covering the entire breast area and armpit. Use light, medium, and firm pressure. Squeeze the nipple and check for discharge and lumps. I did find a lump in the upper left breast. I am not sure what this means. Therefore, I need to refer you to the DMO, or you can see your private physician. The doctor is going to examine you and recommend an ultrasound or a mammogram. Listen, not every lump is cancer. 80 to 85% of the time, the lumps found are benign. That means they are non-cancerous. Lumps in the female breast or armpit can be non-cancerous tissue growth or fluid buildup, or a number of things that can present themselves at various times. But sometimes it's a sign of cancer. That is why I am referring you to see the doctor.
Okay, nurse. Thanks for your help.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Hi there, everybody. You are watching Good Morning SKN, and if you saw the last segment, that's where we spoke with talented actress Aisha Joseph. So now it's time. Somehow our executive producers thought that it would be good to put Mimi's acting skill and my acting skill, you know, front row and center for you guys, and that's exactly what I'm thinking myself. You know, we'll let our viewers be the judge, right? So we're going to demonstrate our acting skills, or yeah, as they say, lack thereof.
Yes, that's me.
We will be playing a game called 4 Lines and a Scene. So here's how it works.
Our team has given us 4 lines, and we're tasked with the challenge, a huge challenge, by the way, of creating a whole scene based on those 4 lines and any connecting lines that we come up with. So here are the 4 lines. Dum, dum, dum.
Oh boy, drum roll, foot tap, whatever you call it. All right. What do you mean? That's the first line. Oh boy, I love that you're getting this line.
Charlie, we have a child together. You see the accent coming up? Okay. Okay.
I will not sit at the back of the bus.
I'm sorry.
All right, so those are our 4 lines. So apparently you guys get to watch us put this together live. So we're going to improv. And then we get to act it out officially, and you get to rate us at Studio 327A, right?
So each line is a scene, or all of those 4 lines?
We can
have
actually
to be in?
use whatever number of lines we want, but we have to incorporate these 4 lines in the scene.
Okay.
All right, so let's go. I had the first line. Yes, we're planning.
Okay.
Yeah, we're planning. We're kind of acting too. So the plan is that we're going to be outside on the lawn somewhere outside of the house. Mm-hmm. You'll probably be like that angry black woman who's who's coming for child support, you know? So you're asking, look at your line.
I have my own money.
Look at your line.
I would just like to let you guys know I have my own money. But okay.
So that's it, right? So this scene is going to play out on the lawn. So you're coming to my house. You're screaming whatever.
Jamie, is this some fantasy of yours where I come to your house to beg you for money? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cat got my tongue, and that's not line 5. So let's go.
I will not sit at the back of the bus.
No, it's easy. So there's going to be a child. There's going to be a child there, and I'm going to try to get you on a bus or something like that. I'm going to say, you know what, go in the back of the bus. Maybe I'm a bus driver. So I'm like, no, you can't sit.
So I have a child with a bus driver?
Yes, and you can't sit at the front of the bus because my wife is going to get upset if she sees me with you, right? So I'm going to try to put you at the back of the bus, and somehow at the end of this scene, it's going to be like, oh boy, yeah, even our executive producer didn't know what to expect from these 4 lines, right? And somehow at the end of it,
I just want to say I'm not doing this willingly. I was forced by them to do this.
Them.
Including Jamie.
All right, so you get it?
Is time up for this segment?
No, not yet. Okay. You want it to be, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So you get it? This is the plan, right? So somehow we're going to have to incorporate what do you mean? You're on the lawn screaming for child support. I'm dialoguing with you. You're going to say something like, but we have a child together because I'm trying to get you lost, right? And then eventually I'm going to try to get you off. So I'm going to put you in the bus. It's be like, yeah, get in the back because I can't have my wife see you here, that sort of thing. And then eventually, somehow, some way, shape, or form, it's going to end with an apology that, I don't know, we were angry and mean or whatever and that kind of thing. We good?
No, but...
It's 4 lines on a scene, everybody. You never know what you're going to get. It might be 5 lines on a scene tomorrow. Hey. So we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, you're going to see the acting skills or lack thereof on display for you. The very first time that you would have improvisation take place on the stage.
That's not true.
Good Morning SKN in acting, that is, in acting. All right? See you guys on the other side.
I'm here to say kids, Nevis. You don't know if I must represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols. In a time like this, all for one for all. Saying kids, Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface of the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first. And boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mask up, furlough, sanitize, observe the protocols all about. Be wise. Mask up, furlough, sanitize. Me family fitting boat. And you. Blessed love and greetings. This is Infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kittian and Nivision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. I don't know what we call this little saga that we have planned for you in this segment, but maybe it will be...
As the island turns.
GMSKN Daytime. Episode 1. All right. So, as you witnessed, we're acting out a scene here, so let's go with it, Mimi. Let's go with it.
So where am I coming from? Oh, this is outside our mansion, your mansion, as a bus driver. Okay.
What is this woman doing outside my place, what?
What do you mean?
What are you doing here? You ain't supposed to be
Charlie,
here.
we have a child together.
That's mine? You did the Maury thing? How do I know that's mine?
He looks exactly like you, Charlie.
Yeah, he's all complexion-wise. Yeah, I can see that. All right. But man, you're not supposed to be here. If my wife sees you, she's going to flip out on me.
I don't care about your wife. What about your son? I'm going to have to take you to the where we're taking your son.
You don't even know where you're taking me. What is this?
I'm taking you to the court.
You're taking me to court?
Yes.
Why are you taking
When was the last time you paid child support?
When's the last time I paid child support? Was I supposed to pay child support too? I didn't know that. I paid child support.
Sorry.
So you want to take me down to Independence Square?
Yes, I want to take you in front of the square for the bailiff to call your name loud.
Call my name loud? It's all right. You're getting practice now. Charlie is all right. He's not going to call me.
Sorry.
You know what? You need to get out of here. My wife coming home soon. You better come soon.
Jamie looked too serious.
You ain't
Your feelings are very hurt.
You ain't coming.
Okay, let's go.
What is this? I'm acting and she's saying I'm acting too well.
No, but you're acting too well. Jamie looked really serious. I was afraid for the health of the safety of my child.
That looks like me, by the way, because he's so white and
stiff.
You know, exactly. That is so... that is so...
Do we pick up where we left off?
All right, so you want to take me down to... No, we still have 2 lines left, you know. We still have 2 lines left, so... Yeah, so... No. You got to get out of the way before my wife comes. Good thing I drive a passenger bus. See, come. Let me open the door for you. Get in the back.
I'm not getting at the back of that bus.
I mean, you want to sit at the back of the bus?
I'm not sitting at the back of that bus.
This is not your Rosa Parks moment. Don't worry, you're going at the back of the bus.
That's
so
good.
go to the back of the bus. Good. Because if my wife sees you, she's going to flip out. And you're not even telling my wife about down your hand, you know, so I know you come in here. You can't come here. I'm going to pay the money if it means that you don't come back. You coming back?
Yes.
No, you can't come back if I pay the money. You want the money, right?
It's about being in your child's life, Charlie. It's much more than the money. I don't need your money. How much money you make as a bus driver?
Yes, I'm a mansion. You know what's up?
The mansion that the court coming back for, Charlie?
And you still want
the mansion that you can't pay for, Charlie?
You don't know when my wife... Hey, boy, my wife will fix it. You got it. Anyway, all right. You know what? Just tell me you're sorry and we forget this now and I give you the money.
I'm sorry.
Boy, that's the 4 lines in it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, yes. And the Grammy Award goes to Jamie for Best Actor in Child Support Not Paid.
And Mimi for Angry Black Woman who has a vase of a child coming to me to say, it's yours. All right, that being said, this is Good Morning SKN.
Wow, that was terrible. I'm so sorry.
Stay tuned. You never know what the next scene will bring. See you on the other side of it.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me go!
Let go what? Yeah, let's see what really happened. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
And you are watching Good Morning SKN. Colors, fabrics, patterns, and textures. A combination of these 4 elements results in fashion design. Our clothing reflects our unique character, style, and mood at any particular moment. Black History Month is when many try to incorporate African prints and designs into their attire. Locally, these types of clothing can be sourced from Empire Wear Designs. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming the founder of this brand, Miss Chadine Connor, to Good Morning SKN's Expressions. So welcome, Chadine.
Hi.
Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So at what age did you discover that you were interested in fashion?
Oh, from very young. My mom is actually the local designer, Faith Benjamin. So I've grown up watching her make designs and, you know, being creative. I wanted to do that. So it's from a very young age.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but the name Faith Benjamin, you know, rings a bell for many locals, I'm sure, because she's been doing this for a lot of years.
Yes, a lot of years.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about this industry appeals to you most?
I like being able to create. I like to see 2 different things and different patterns and putting it together to express myself. So I think that's the top thing for me.
So give us an insight as the launch of your business, Empire Wear Designs. What inspired you to branch out? I know your mom sews and you.
It's a
family.
Yeah. It's me and my mom. We work together hand in hand. So she started it and we just basically built on the foundation.
Oh, that's great. I love family business.
That's awesome. And we talked about the African themed wear, and I asked you when you sat if you were the one who, you know, made that lovely.
I came for the theme.
I like that, Chetty. I like that.
So did you expect such a wide receipt from St. Kitts? I know everybody talks about you. I mean, you've made pieces for me as well. So you're very, very popular. Did you expect that when you first started designing?
Oh yes, that was actually the goal. I wanted to be like well known and the biggest for my pieces. I want you to look at someone and say, okay, that came from Empire Wear.
Ah, so you've been successful.
Yes.
And do we have any clips of you wearing anything from Empire Wear, Mimi?
I don't think they do. No, not it. Wow, why would you pick that picture? But yes, Chadine, I mean, I think I went to it just with a few days notice. I'm like, okay, this is what I want. And it was perfectly done.
Came out really,
yes, it was really,
awesome.
really nice. So what are your most requested pieces? What do people come to you and ask for the most?
Let's see. People come, okay, the most occasion we have is birthdays.
Yes.
So people come for fancy, like glitter and formal attire. So that is our biggest thing, formal attire.
I know birthdays are a big thing, and I know, I mean, we had
Was
Turkey
that yours?
Killer in glitter. So we know that glitter is very...
When it's your birthday, you think about sparkle and, you know, high fashion. That's what we think about.
I want to get in here. You got to tell me, what kind of customer was Mimi? Was she like, you know, the customer Zilla, or was she like the
No, she was
perfect
actually
customer?
perfect.
Wow.
She knew what she wanted, and she wasn't panicking. Because she came, as she said, she came in a short notice, and we delivered exactly what she wanted.
And she made the process very, very easy. I came in just one time to try it on, and then she said, okay, we'll do this, that.
Yes.
By the time I picked it up and I put it on the next day for the event, it was absolutely perfect.
Yes.
So can you tell us what, you said you do lots of high fashion designs. Is that your favorite thing to do?
I mean, actually, yes, it is. It is.
And where do you get the inspiration from your designs?
Oh, social media plays a big part in, you know, looking for designs, because we watch runway shows, Instagram, Pinterest, and we basically, as I said before, take one piece from here and one piece from here to put it together to style our clients. So that's...
Oh, that's nice. Listen, I can't get enough of that dress. I can't get enough of the image that I saw there either. And knowing that she wasn't a customer Zilla, wow, interesting.
No, I'm not. I'm a very pleasant person if you get to meet me. We'll pick that up another time. But I'm also, I think I'm made to understand that you do a bit of styling as well. Like
Yes.
not just making the pieces, but actually telling people what would go best with them, the whole look, the hair, the makeup, the accessories, the nails.
I really love styling. You come in, you say, okay, I don't know what I want as yet, but I know I want to be flashy. I say, okay, it's a couple days process. I have to, you know, look what I want and put together things. And when you come back, I'll be able to tell you, okay, this suits your body type with this hair or this shoes and this makeup. I give input about everything. So that's our styling process.
Listen, I have to ask you, because as the sole guy on this stage right now, are guys left out or are we included too?
No, we do include some men. It's occasionally, but we do include some men. We make suits, the shirts, pants, you know, the whole work.
Okay, that's great.
So Jamie, you could get an Empire Wear ensemble.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe something in African print for Black History.
Maybe, you know, I would get away from the white stiff comment that you made earlier. We'll see. I'll go Black in Africa. Yeah.
Yes. Wakanda forever.
We'll try it. All right. So how do people find you? You know, contact information, that sort of thing.
We are located at Pelican Mall, that is down in Bastia. It's, I would say, the road, the building, but we are directly in front of Hosford. The road with Hosford.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and we will come back in a flash. Stay tuned, everyone. More Good Morning SKN in a moment.
Good afternoon. And to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit today? Good afternoon. After finding a lump, I visited the health center to see a nurse, and she found a lump as well. Doc, do you think this is the big C? I shouldn't have cancer. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Nobody in my family has ever had cancer.
Slow down, not so fast. Not every lump of the breast is cancerous. The breast goes through a number of changes. It can be a piece of fatty tissue or some other non-cancerous lump of the breast. Either way, I'll have to examine you first to make sure.
Okay. I did not know I was supposed to examine my breast myself.
Yes, the self-breast examination is very revealing. It is the first step in diagnosis. It is important to self-examine your breasts once monthly after you've had your period. That way, you would know how your normal healthy breasts feel and be able to detect any changes early. If any abnormality is detected, there are more defining tests such as the ultrasound and/or mammogram.
Mammogram? No, I've heard that mammogram thing hurts badly.
I'm sure that most of what you've heard about the mammograms are exaggerated encounters. Here's the referral. Take it to the facility. Before the exam begins, you will have to fill out a short pre-test questionnaire. Let the doctor know if there's a possibility of pregnancy. Leave jewelry at home and wear loose, comfortable clothing. Don't wear deodorant, talcum powder, or lotion under your arms or on your breasts, as these may appear on the mammogram and interfere with correct diagnosis. During the exam, each breast is compressed horizontally between two plates for imaging and then diagonally for further imaging as needed. So how was the experience?
It's not what I expected. My teenage sister found a lump in her breast. Should she get a mammogram too?
All lumps of the breast and changes should be investigated. A mammogram is recommended once a year for every woman aged 40 and over, even younger if there's a family history.
Oh, gee. Women have to endure a lot.
Men have to check their breasts too.
Yeah?
Yes, some men do get breast cancer too. So remember, get checked today. Early detection saves lives.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, are coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
you're watching Good Morning SKN, and we have with us, I'm going to say, the co-founder of Empire Wear Designs, Chadine Connor, who will now walk us through her creative process of some of her Black History Month pieces. So Chadine, I see we have lots of colorful fabrics here. Can you walk us through the process? Like, where do you get your fabrics from? Where do we start?
Okay, mostly we source our fabrics locally, whether at Karen's Fabric or at Astafan. Sometimes we have a lady that brings in unique and original African pieces.
Oh, wow.
So we use those as well, but we mostly source from Karen's or Astafan.
Okay, so it's February, Black History Month. So do people normally come for African print designs during this time?
Yes, because there are business places, there are churches, there are schools that incorporate the wearing of African wear into their jobs, and because it's Black History Month. So we do a lot of pieces this month.
That's great, man. So do you also have this need or this demand through other times of year?
In the summertime.
In the summertime?
Yes, in the summertime. Because there are a lot of prints and a lot of colors in African fabrics, we tend to use it in the summertime as well.
When it's fun.
All right, so
Yes.
I think you're free to take us through each individual piece that you have here.
Okay, so right now what we have here, this is a little cute, little fun dress. It's like, really, it's appropriate length. Let's just start here. We have little fun sleeves. And the print is nice. So this is, when you're going to a little brunch or a little, beach party, this is what people would come and typically get to wear.
You can pass them this way because I don't want Mimi or Cortenzio to run away with them, right? So I'll just keep them here safe.
For the kids, like I said, we do kids wear for school. So we have, this is a little boy's top. So he put it on with a khaki pants, a jean pants, and he's on his way to school. That's for those people who don't generally want to wear a whole African suit. That's what
a little more conservative.
You could just put on a top and then a pair of jeans.
Nice little cute jacket.
I like that one.
You put a nice blouse, a nice white tee. You put on your skirt, your little pants, and you're off to school.
I think Hortensia wants to feel it, because she thinks I'm getting all of the fun. So please pass that one that way.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yes, it does.
Yesterday I had on my white cami, so I could work with this. Definitely work with this.
This is a little dress we have here. It's not too loud. It's just the perfect amount of African for those who, again, don't want to be too outrageous with the African wear. It's just a yellow frill dress with the bordering and the tie.
But you've also got the colors of our flag in there, so that's great.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's really, really great.
Yeah.
Good eye. Good eye.
See, you know anything about that.
We do bags.
I love these, by the way.
We do bags, and I'm going to show you something else, but we do bags. You just put on a simple white dress and you put your bag to accessorize. You put all your goodies in your bags and you're going about the day.
So is it true you women love big bags? You dump everything in them?
Yes,
So
we
this
put
one might actually be
everything.
good?
Yes,
Hortensia,
our
you're
whole
smiling.
life, just in case.
Every single thing, you have to be able to fit a little piece of home.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
That's a good seller. That's a good seller.
We also have belts for the ladies that, just want a hint of African because, just sometimes you just want to tone it down a bit. You wear your little African, your little white clothes, your basic
Jimmy, I think you
clothes,
put on your
jean
head.
pants, and then you get a belt and you put the belt around
Yeah,
it.
I can see what you mean.
So you can wear your African belt with about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the colors vary.
Yes.
So we definitely can put them in anything.
So are all your things made by order, or do you carry certain things at the shop that people could just come and pick up?
When we do Black History Month, mostly we do to sell. And then customs orders we get sometimes, but mostly we put out to sell. Because it's easier because, children and the parents come and they're looking for a quick little thing, so they just buy it and go.
All right, perfect. So can you remind us again how we can contact you, how we can find you, and what is the perfect, again, I'm often very last minute. What is the perfect time to contact you if I wanted something custom made?
Mostly it's 2 weeks. Two weeks in advance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so remind us how we can contact you, where we can find you.
We are located at the Pelican Mall, that's downstairs. You can't miss the shop, honestly. We have our beautiful pieces outside as well as inside. The number to call is 766-6177 or 668-8819.
And are you on social media?
Yes, we have an Instagram page, which is EmpireWear869.
You realize Hortensia is just soaking all of this up because I think that you're going to run down to that store.
I just might.
Before the day is up. All right, so Chadine, thank you so much for coming. You're going to actually be here with us when we say goodbye to our viewers because we are just about out of time.
Yes, we're just about out of time.
Imagine that. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it really does.
All right. So we want to thank all of you, of course, for tuning in every day to check out what's happening on Good Morning SKN. We're inviting you to come back tomorrow when we come back at 8 o'clock. All right. And of course, if you want more content, where can you find us, guys? Where can they find us?
Remember to follow us on social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. Like, subscribe, and follow us. And remember to leave a comment with the topics and guests you'd want to see on our next episodes of Good Morning SKN.
So see you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you start your morning with us at Good Morning SKN. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, SKN.